Hi, Gigi. Thank you for doing this for me. Love you.
Hi, Leo. This is your Gigi. I just want you to know I'm so thrilled that you would ask me to do this for you, and it gives me such pleasure to do so. So now, here we go.
Tell me a little bit about yourself. When and where were you born? Where did you grow up?
Okay, Leo. Gigi was born on January 19th, 1939. My mom's name was Sally. My dad's name was Jim. And I was raised by my grandparents, Mary and Russell. I lived in Alhambra. I grew up there. So I spent most of my time as a child in Alhambra, California.
Who introduced you to baseball? How old were you?
Well, let me see. I must have been about 6 or 7 years old. And my dad and my grandpa, your great grandpa, used to listen to the Dodger games on the radio. And that's how I first got interested in baseball.
What is your earliest memory of as a Dodger fan?
My earliest memory as a Dodger fan was, of course, listening to them on the radio. But when they moved to Los Angeles, we were all so excited. And then my grandpa and my dad and I went to the Los Angeles Coliseum to watch a game. And that was before Dodger Stadium was built. It was the most exciting thing I've ever done. I loved it.
Some fans rooting for their favorite team goes back to childhood. Is this true for you?
Yes, absolutely, it's true for me. Like I said before, I was 6 or 7 when I first started listening to the Dodgers on the radio, and then I progressed through my growing up a little and going to the games, and it just went on from there.
What are some memorable games you have seen or listened to?
Well, 1988, first game of the World Series with the Oakland A's. It was the bottom of the ninth. The Dodgers were down by 2 runs, and they got one man on base, and along comes Kirk Gibson. I wish to correct that. We were down by 1 run. Kirk Gibson gets up to bat. The poor guy had been crippled. He could hardly walk. Got up and hit a home run out of the park, and the Dodgers won the game. As for other memorable games, I listened and heard Sandy Koufax pitch all 4 of his no-hitters, and one of those was a perfect game. And I also watched and saw Clayton Kershaw get his first no-hitter. So I've seen a lot of memorable baseball in my day.
Who has been some of your favorite players? And has there been anyone that stood out to you more or impacted you from the Dodgers?
Oh, well, you should know by now that it was Sandy Koufax. He's my all-time favorite player. But there's been so many that I love. There's Dusty Baker, Tommy Davis, Willie Davis, Maury Wills, who stole 103 bases in a year. There's just been so many I can't tell you. And then there's Clayton Kershaw now, who was my favorite pitcher. But again, we're just so filled with great talent, and I love them all, Leo, love them all.
To you, what does it mean to be a Dodger fan?
What does it mean to be a Dodger fan? Well, it's consumed a lot of my lifetime. It's a real passion of mine. I love baseball. I love everything about baseball. And I really love that my family loves baseball so much, including my great-grandsons, Leo and Luca, and their dad, my grandson, Mike, and my grandson, Kevin. It just means so much to me that my family is all involved in baseball like I am. I'm glad to have passed that on to them.
How many generations of Dodger fans are in your family?
Well, let me see. Goes back to my grandpa, which is 1, my dad 2, me 3, my kids 4, and my grandchildren 5, And now it's on to my great-grandchildren, so that's 6. So let's just keep it going, kids. Keep the family involved.
What is your favorite memory as a Dodger fan?
My favorite memory as a Dodger fan is being able to go to so many games with my children, with my grandchildren, my grandparents, my dad, and then we used to take and go in a big truck. Phil would gather up a bunch of kids. We all went. We had a big picnic in the park, and then we'd go to the games. We did that several times. It was so much fun. I think those are my best memories, going with the family and friends and kids to the games.
When you think of the Dodgers, who do you think of?
Well, who do I think of? I think of all the times that we were able to go to the games. Beautiful Dodger Stadium. It's the most beautiful ballpark in all of baseball. And being able to sit there with the crowds of people and enjoying a game and laughing and having fun. And the best times were when the Dodgers would win. And we've seen a lot of those games when the Dodgers won.